Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to be reacting to why Oppenheimer quote to the Bhagavad Gita, Sadhguru. So anyways, I did kind of, whenever I was looking up for trying to grab the thumbnail, I ended up reading there's a quote in there that said that he said it was his duty to create the weapon and the people in power to use it wisely. I mean, I get it. But then I thought, didn't he not quote that I am the bringer of death or something like that? But anyways, I can't remember the exact quote. But let's go ahead and give this video a shot.
Robert Oppenheimer used this as a description for the first nuclear test. When 1,000 suns explode in the sky, I shall come as death. He took a passage from the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata and Ramayana. You will see vivid description of weapons which resemble today's modern weapons. You can still explore the cosmos, you could still know everything. If you look at the sciences as we know it today, they are full of explanations, but never ever addressing the most fundamental aspect of creation in any sense. Explanation for what is already there, and those explanations keep changing every 5 years. And a new set of people will get Nobel Prizes. I'm not trying to make fun of science as a whole. It's a fantastic exploration, no question about that. Today, the top scientists in the world have fully realized that this is not the way. They are openly saying that it is not only that we do not know, we will never know, but knowing tidbits about creation itself will bring enormous amount of benefit to humanity, no question about that. But benefit to one generation and extinction to the future generations, a very short-sighted benefit.
I can agree with that honestly. kind of like it's kind of like what we see in the U.S. at the moment. Kind of. It's like the easier and easier life becomes, in a lot of sense, the weaker and weaker human, at least the society the society that's easy, the people get weaker, and I mean that in many sense, like physically. I mean, if they find tools to make things easier to live, you don't need to be strong anymore. Um, if you don't go through a lot of struggles because everything is just kind of handed to you, then you become emotionally weak as well. Because that means the second that there's trouble, you break down because you've never had trouble before. You didn't get your way right away, you know. But that's to say that, like, do we want to stay in a situation where we're always having issues so that we've developed strongly, but then it's always a struggle? It's a balance, or at the very least, it should be an appreciation of what makes this life easier and realize that we have it easy. That the issues that we have today are very, very small problems compared to what they were in the past. And that's the thing, is that it's there are some people like there out there like that. There are some people out there who what I'd say is this level of issue is the norm, meaning that in the past this many issues, yeah, this many issues because of all the technological advancements, the laws or whatever, this many issues. So people that lived through this time had so much issues, but they developed a strength over it. People that are born in this time, they have this many issues, but they're crying so loud, and like people over here, it's like we had so much more issues. This is nothing. This what you have right here is nothing compared to what we have, to what we've been through, to what we had to go through. This is nothing. We would be happy to have issues like this when we were younger. Kind of. I hope you understand them, the metric type things. So it's like, you know, missing an ice cube in your drink and they complain, chopped off a leg, but I had to endure. Like massive differences. And when they're missing the ice cube, it's like, oh my gosh, the entire day's ruined, whatever. Missing a leg, have to go to work the next day. You get the idea behind what I'm trying to say between the two different levels. Like, they didn't have fans, AC, didn't have cars, didn't have power tools. Everything was done by hand. Everything was manual labor in a lot of sense. Versus now, where there's a lot of things AC, working inside, not so much manual labor anymore, because there's a lot of equipment and tools that can handle the job of many different people, like construction and stuff, where you need to lift up so many steel beams. Now you used to have a lot of men that carried all that stuff up to the top. Now you have cranes that can lift what 50 people would do in a day in 1 hour. So there's less and less physical labor per se, but there's still plenty out there. But yeah, and then the people who grow up and it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's garbage work. I want to do this, the easy AC unit, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the AC is broken. I'm getting so hot in here. It's disaster. I can't believe it. It's the worst day ever, kind of deal.
You will see in Puranas, Mahabharata and Ramayana comes under the Purana culture. You will see vivid description of weapons which resemble today's modern weapons. They couldn't have just made up something which did not exist, the concept of it which did not exist a few hundred years ago. And you will be surprised, Robert Oppenheimer, who is considered as the father of modern nuclear weaponry, when the first nuclear weapon was tested in the United States, in Los Alamos, he took a passage from Krishna, from the Bhagavad Gita, and he said, when Krishna spoke about this, he said, when 1,000 suns explode in the sky, I shall come as death and shall shake the world. So he took this passage and used this as a description for the first nuclear test that happened in the United States. Because the same thing was spoken almost 5,000 years ago by Krishna. So why I'm going into this is, these aspects of physical sciences were explored and were rejected, are not the way for the humanity. If you go this way, this is a way of destruction, this is not the way to go. So they turned the whole thing into a mystical dimension where a human being can expand and explore limitlessly without causing any damage to anything around him. Without disturbing any life, you can still explore the cosmos, you could still know everything. And fundamental longing within a human being is, he wants to expand. How he does it is the only question, either by conquest or by inclusion. Which way does he do it is the only question. But a human being cannot be kept here without expansion. So, when we talk about mystical dimensions, we are talking about looking at life, exploring life in a completely different direction and dimension. This needs a certain amount of reversal of everything you have done as life. If I say your life, you will immediately think your job, your business, your family, your husband, your wife, your children, your friend, and many other things, isn't it? Very few people, only if I put a gun to your head and say your life, then you understand what's life. This is not a party, this is not a job, this is not money, this is not home, this is not children, this is not this and that. Life means this. What makes life is not your local train coming on time, airplane taking off on time, your cell phone working, something else happening, your bank account clicking. No, what makes life happen is just this: the soil, the rain, the breeze, the mountain, the tree, and what beats here, what pulsates within this every cell in this body, and above all, the intelligence behind all this. If we want to explore something else, then we have to rejig ourselves a little bit. Reaching ourselves may not be our idea of fun, but I want you to know one thing, the only and only thing, knowingly or unknowingly, that you're aspiring for is to become something more than what you are right now. You will never become anything more than what you are right now, unless your perception is enhanced. By increasing your bank balance, you will not become more. That's only in comparison with somebody. Unless everybody is little poorer than you won't feel good having $1 billion. Yes or no? Suppose everybody in the world has $10 billion and you have $1 billion, are you happy? So, so $1 billion is not going to do anything, it's only the social comparisons. Anything that you may have or you believe you have achieved in life will not mean anything unless there is somebody to look down upon, unfortunately.
I'll say this though, to kind of counter that a little bit. Yes, there are people out there like that who say they must be on top of everyone else, but there are some people out there who wants to see their bank account just big savings so that they can retire happy. They don't want a lot. They just want shelter, food, water, and be able to provide for their families. And then to look in the bank accounts, hey, look, we can go on vacation and still have emergency funds and also retirement, kind of deal. I don't know how many of those people are around, but but yes, the reason why everyone's striving for more and more and more, I think, is obviously they want more. But I was going to say it's just because you don't know when it's going to end. If you can get as much money as you can as quickly as possible, and if something bad were to happen, at least you got a lot of money, and then that will hold you off until the next situation, I guess. But at the same time, there's not very many people of those. Those are probably the extreme exceptions to that rule, where there are people out there who are looking for fast money, and and I don't know how those. I know there's a few that they're very much hustlers, but quick and easy money is kind of hard. I say easy money, but yes, anyways.
These cities. Yes or no? The only thing that will matter is your perception is enhanced. You are experiencing more life than you were experiencing yesterday. For this, you don't need anybody's comparison. How somebody is experiencing or not experiencing is not even an issue. If you're experiencing something more than what you were experiencing yesterday, this day is a blessed day and it's a fulfilled day. Ultimately, that's the only and only thing that fulfills a human being and nothing else.
Okay. All right. So interesting. Didn't Oppenheimer also quote that I have become death? I remember watching that in like a video, but I don't know how true that is. And I guess he didn't really talk too much about it, other than talking about how the weapon was explained in the past, and how Oppenheimer, in a sense, said, "I have come as death." But anyways, I was hoping it would explain a little bit more about Oppenheimer and the Bhagavad Gita, especially maybe what did he pull from it and this reasoning behind it and why he quoted it. I mean, it seems to be for him to quote something, I'm assuming for people to quote something, let me say this, for people to quote something in a book would mean that book has a very good impact in their life. Good impact, or an impact in their life in general. So I'm assuming Oppenheimer was very much a follower of the Bhagavad Gita. So anyways, that's all I have to say about the Oppenheimer quoted by the Bhagavad Gita. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.